Welcome back to the channel. I'm Denise Brady. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist. And with all this Diddy stuff that has come out, it got me kind of thinking, the industry is fake. Okay, it really is, because now all these people are coming out saying, we didn't know, there was speculation, there were rumors. Some of the biggest media platforms, The Breakfast Club, Essence Magazine, and it's hard for me to believe that people really didn't know. Okay, it's hard to believe that it was just rumors. You never saw anything. People never picked up on his tone, his mannerisms. I feel like for a long time people have known, but it shows you the power of money, the power of manipulation, and just how people really will protect for their own sake. In this case, I feel like Diddy has been protected by so many, not just his own people, but also just allies who are now flipping and saying we never knew, friends, industry people in general. And most recently, Kelly Price had the nerve to come out and put up prayers for Diddy. I knew that the Lord had something better in store for him. It's just the industry that got him. Okay, but I didn't see those same prayers for Cassie. A lot of these media companies, when the whole thing first came out with the lawsuit, the speculation, where were you guys? All the things I now say, protect Black women, believe Black women. Y'all seen some of those posts, right? Where were they when she first needed help? Before the lawsuit, okay? Once y'all saw an incident, once y'all saw the tone on those red carpets, I'm sure we could see from the videos and the photos that we have seen looking back at these red carpet interactions, the way he would look at her when someone spoke to her, okay? When someone tried to interact with her, you saw the way he looked at her like, how dare you? This is about me. And then he would grab her hand and remind her, I have power, I have control. But nobody said anything. And that's what we see in a lot of situations with DV, intimate partner violence, of how people around, not all the time, I feel like most of the time there are things that people pick up, but for some reason, nothing is said. Some people might feel like it's not my business, it's not my life, it's not my relationship. But what do we really say? What do we really do when that kind of thing comes up? Do you say something? Is it fear that you don't? But in this situation, I'm seeing a lot of fakery. Even watching the most recent Breakfast Club interview with, it wasn't an interview, but they were reacting to the tape that came out last Friday. And they were all like, well, we knew there were rumors. We never knew for sure. Why do you have to know for sure? Why is it that the tape had to prove what this woman was saying for years? And it's hard for me to believe that as high up as Charlemagne is, as high up as Envy is, even just being around these people before she got on the Breakfast Club, that nobody knew. Okay, but I think now it's like, I don't want to be associated. I have to save my brand. I have to save and show face that I wasn't attached. Okay, but y'all saw, y'all knew, okay? This kind of stuff doesn't just happen behind closed doors. The control of a manipulator, someone who's a narcissist, someone who wants to make sure that others know that I have power, I have control over this person, they make that publicly known, okay? And I think that it just shows you how in the end, I think people are trying to protect themselves. The victim here is Cassie. The victim here are so many other women, so many other people that Diddy has had relationships with, both platonic, business-wise, intimacy-wise. There are so many victims. And because of the protection that the industry has provided him, so many people continue to get hurt. So many people are healing from wounds from these kind of situations. And it's not just Diddy. There have been other names who have allegedly did the same thing. We've seen and read the stories, the documentaries. There's been documentaries and movies done on people such as Dr. Dre, such as Rev, Run, all those people, you know, the things that people have said, but because that the industry has continued to protect them. These kind of situations remind me this is why victims don't come forward. Because of the way that they're treated by the legal system, police, attorneys, the things that they have to go through in order to get their voice out there, in order to get charges made against them. You have to think, when victims come out, the prosecution, the defense will railroad the victim to make it seem like they asked for it, it was their fault. How come she's just now saying something? Okay, on top of the people who in the industry don't believe them, even in their personal life, you have friends and family who will make little comments. Well, if you hadn't gone out that night, look at how you were dressed. I told you a while ago to stop hanging around them people. A lot of victim blaming. And I'm feeling, and noticing as a therapist, a lot of people out there are just now coming out, and for me, it feels like pretending like they didn't know. Because it's like I said, this abuse does not happen just in the background. And you have to think about, if he acted like that in a public place, imagine things that have happened in the closed doors. What happened in that room? Even, him having people over and she did something in his eyes, said something, and just a slap, a hit. But everybody in that room is acting like they didn't see it. Similar to Kim Porter. Now the bodyguard is coming out, and I think I've heard the bodyguard for a long time has been trying to tell his story and share what he saw, but the powers that be, Diddy has a lot of media power, a lot of media control. His voice was silenced. And it's good that people are now starting to listen to him, but I think there are a lot of people who continue to be hurt. And there's a lot of speculation about the things that happened leading up to Kim Porter's untimely death, the things that she went through. And I also think about the things that his daughters, those twin girls, have had to see, deal with. They're still, at a young age where I really do believe that they're still grieving their mother. And now to possibly be grieving their father, the image that they had of him. I wonder what's happening for them. They're still young, going to prom, trying to experience life, and the things that they are faced with as young girls from this man who's supposed to be an example of the relationships that they have with men growing up, future relationships that they might get into, even with their siblings, because allegedly some of their siblings were involved in some of this stuff. Justin. What does that say to two young, impressionable girls? What have they seen? Unfortunately, how has that affected their mental health? How has that affected how they show up in the world? And I would be curious about hearing their voices, hearing their stories about how it was growing up. Do they feel like they have a voice? Because living with a man like that who has that much authority, I can only imagine that voice has been steeped down inside and pushed down. So you really don't hear them speak too often. I don't know if I've ever heard them speak. I see plenty of pictures of them, but never really interviews or things like that. And they are young, but it makes me just recognize the industry will protect itself. And when allegations come out, evidence, the only thing that people really will believe is a videotape. They won't believe your word, and they know it's happening. But I need to save my brand. I need to save myself to not be attached to this thing. And that's what we're continuing to see from different people. And I think we will continue to see people trying to save their brand, save their image at the sake of more victims coming out. But these are just my quick thoughts. I'm just having my little morning tea here. And I thought we could talk about some things for a little second. But I want to know your thoughts. Do you think that the industry is just trying to show face, save itself from the retaliation, save their brand? The Breakfast Club, Charlemagne, and that interview that Cameron did, to me, was very disrespectful. Okay, to go on that platform, it just shows you how Black women are not respected. For him to go on that platform, he had to know what the interview was about. Someone set him up for that segment, and to kind of disrespect her in her face, like, that ain't about me, I don't know nothing, y'all should talk to Mace. It shows you just how much protection that Diddy still has. A lot of people feel like the protection is going away, but it's really not. And how this woman took her time to interview, to continue to be respectful, but yet it shows in this situation, Black women are not respected. Women, I think, are not being respected. But, of course, I just want to have a little quick chat with y'all, okay? Make sure you like, you subscribe. Let me know your thoughts on all these things that have come out the last couple days. Where are we at in society? Because to me, we are not as far as we think we really are. But I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.